I know I've been cheated on, but I only know in the more so the emotional sense. Like I honestly, like I
Which
knew
is the worst.
Yeah, it's surprisingly enough, it actually is like people don't talk about that.
They don't.
They don't talk about the time that you're talking to someone, and all of a sudden their whole behavior with you change, and then someone else on the back end is getting all that love, and then don't let them do it in front of you. Like it's like, oh, so you reckless now. Like you don't, like you took away any love you gave me, and then like this is your little corner pinch of the bag that I left. You can do that as you will, but I'm about to shower this motherfucker with the rest of this, even though he got other shit going on and someone else is showering him. But I never had proof that anything, except maybe one time she did come home smelling funny. And it was just that one time though, because I just remember I remember sitting there and I was like, I can smell your pussy. Like, I can kind of smell your pussy.
Smell like sex. Oh,
I can kind of smell your pussy right now. And then it was weird enough when she came home that day. She was like, that was one of them days where she was just like really in my face, like, "Hey, how you doing? This and that, blah blah blah." And you just like, you smell like pussy.
Yeah.
And the funny part is I didn't really go for it at the time because I guess that was a very early on time in us being together. But it was just you look at it and you just like maybe.
So here I got a question. So you hear a lot of people saying they pride themselves on, oh, I never break up somebody if I don't have proof that they're cheating. I'm gonna figure it out before I make my decision. I need facts. Do you think that that's necessary?
I'll be real with you. It depends on the person, because to me, to get to that point where that's a constant thought in your brain, is you have to address how you got there. Like why are you thinking this? What behavior is happening right now that this person is exhibiting to make you go, this motherfucker is stepping out on me? Because me, I do pay attention to how women, take me, how they come to me and how they talk to me. Like women don't realize that I can see that it's I can see even the most slight subtle change on how you approach me. Like I've had women, like they be all up on me, rubbing on me this and that 1 second. And then when they see me again come over, they distant. They standing to the left. They going, "Hey, how you doing?" They may hug you, but they ain't in your pocket like they was before. And then they try to act like, oh, nothing's different from that time to this time.
Well, see, my question is,
what do you mean?
Do you need, so you see all the signs, right? And just your spirit is not right. Like the energy just is off.
I mean,
right?
I didn't.
Yeah, but you saying like she came home smelling like sex.
But then that was okay. That was like one of those, like we were still living in the first place that we met, or that I lived with her before. So that was like a 2 living situations before finding out, or at least a living situation before finding out. So it's more so that wasn't really on my mind. And also, if you work, if other times later on that she has been like working out, and I could kind of smell it. So I take it as okay. She was working this and that, blah blah blah.
Definitive. Yeah.
So it's not. So I can say that, I can feel that, but it's just not enough to me to I'll be literally saying she probably fucked that dude at that day. Yeah, she probably did, but it ain't definitive. But I mean, for me, I would have to say yeah, because you're thinking it. Like to me, if
you saying yeah, what?
Like in the sense that you say like you have a feeling they're cheating and you feel like that's enough for you to leave them. My thing is, in a sense, yes, but it should be in a process of leaving them.
Right.
Now it shouldn't be the end all be all. I'm about to leave them. It should be the first step. Yo, you cheating on me?
Yeah.
Because to me, the basic way to get the ball rolling is let me ask you.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
And that's another thing too. Especially
because now whatever lie you tell, you gotta live with it. You gotta
live with it, and you can't. You always, no matter what happens at the end of this road, remember what you do right now is going to dictate anything we could possibly build.
Yeah,
anything
like it's done.
And I think that's the big thing for me is I got all the signs without seeing the thing, right, without witnessing the thing firsthand. And I'm grateful that I never witnessed it firsthand, right?
I mean,
to me,
yeah.
I was like, I got a strong feeling almost to the point of fact. All I need to know is how you're going to handle this. All I need to know is to see her face, to see her fix her mouth, and to say the lie out loud.
Yeah.
Has she said, yeah, I have. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. This, that, and the fourth happened. Da, 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 da. Okay, I'm gonna step away and come back. We probably gonna go get some counseling. We're gonna figure this out because we didn't come so far down the road to just walk away. But as soon as you fix your face and say a lie, oh, I'm with a thief. I'm laying up with a thief, a murderer, a fucking a scam artist. Like you're all the terrible things on the planet. When you flat out lie to me when I'm willing to die for you, like I'm out.
You know what? Here's the thing, man. It's deeper than that for me, in the sense that cheating was the beginning of lying right away.
Yeah.
Like to me, you've been like, if you it's almost like the Rihanna song. You're only sorry because you got caught.
Exactly.
Like I caught you. Yeah. Like had I not caught you, how much longer would your behavior in this direction keep going?
Yeah.
Like and unfortunately, that's all too real for me because.
You can't believe shit. I mean, and how
I can't believe you no more
with that. Like, and then, as men, we pride ourselves on being able to keep our environment safe. Like, have some level of situational awareness and control of our environment. And if our right arm, our woman is not solid and 10 toes down, then we feel like our whole operation is a fraud. Our whole operation is shaky. Like we can't trust nothing,
dude.
The
one like. A legit trigger for me is having a conversation in the car. Like to come outside and the person just on the phone in the car talking. I don't. It's like it's just like the biggest red fucking flag in the world for me, because to me it's not so much of me not hearing being privy to it, but it's like you don't want nothing about this conversation to hear my ears. Like it's one thing,
but you're emboldened to do this shit. Feet from me,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like you got this little fucking sound bubble, and for me, and again, it's finding out the truth, and then now you're going through all the memories that you had, and for me, it was going out, like knowing that she was home and coming out to the car and seeing her in the car on the phone, and then one time even knocking on the door, and she's like, "Oh, I'm about to come in," and then spend another 10 minutes in the car.
Yeah,
and you just sitting there like, wow. So all them times.
So with that though, right? Like I can 100% understand why that would be like a trigger.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Especially when the outcome was the outcome. Like when you moved on to your next situation, those triggers gonna happen. Yeah. People gonna have their habits. Like people, you know what I'm saying? Some people, that's what they do. They get I do it sometimes. I'll get home from work and I'm just in my car listening to music for like 30 minutes. Sitting in my car, how long did it take you to be like, okay, this one is different? Like this situation is so healthy that they don't even hit the trigger, Like how long did that take?
I mean, the relationship I'm in now is the next relationship technically, but even that has like almost a 3-year window, damn near. So it's
how long was
about a 2-year window, at least a 2-year window.
So the relationship that ended, how long was that relationship?
I was about 9 months. Now I think about it.
Okay.
It was. But the funny part for me is that with those 9 months, that would have that was going on in my longest relationship from childhood. Like I mean, I dated one girl 9-10 months in high school. Then I would have little on and off relationships with women. It'd be more on and off because just kept running away type situations. Then you get with someone for 4 months. That about month 4, they're like, man, let's just break up. And you're just like, fight. And then you meet another one, and that bitch crazy.
And then you go through
sociopathic.
Then you just go through a couple of summers of just saying fuck it
and doing whatever you want
and fucking everything else.
Yeah, and being choosy about it too. Like man, it's but and then. Moving to what I am now, like right before her, I had a young tenderoni coming through, little youngin, and
that shit was funny,
little Phoebe, if you will,
little sticky fingers,
little 5-finger discount,
little crackhead next door,
miss I get it for free. Yo, when she took that bottle from my house, I was like, the funny part is,
I remember you put in the group chat, no more broke bitches.
No more broke bitches,
like,
bro.
I ain't ever, never.
Never. If you broke, man, don't even talk. Cause you thinking to yourself is, why can a woman always a woman's always trying to date up, and then this whole narrative about relationships with men is that we're always dating down.
Yep.
My thing is, there's plenty of women who are up there.
Yep.
So why do you?
And as men, we actually, the numbers skew more in our direction to where we can be more selective. You know, just pure numbers, pure volume. I think for us, our connection ain't that. It ain't. We'll never look at a woman's resources and say, "Damn, I'm up." If I'm next to that,
I mean, I know some white dudes that do.
Oh, there's yeah.
Actually, I know one black dude and she make money.
Any 10 toes down dude, any solid dude that you respect, no matter what his income bracket is, he prides himself on being able to take care of his business, and he prides himself even more on being able to help his woman's business.
I would say that I'm in a gray area within that.
Oh, me too. I think me and you are more aligned than a lot of people that I know. Mm-hmm. But even then, I remember with your last situation, you was like the refrigerator never got empty.
Yeah, it never was.
It was never a question. It wasn't like I got it this time. Can you go and do? No, it was boom, 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 and it make you feel good. It make you sit back on your own sofa and be like, I feel good.
So if I could be real on that situation, I didn't. Honest with you, that really had no feeding to my ego. If anything, me saying that was more of an observation that during that entire time, these are the things that I was doing without even thinking about. Mm-hmm. It wasn't even about on some look what I'm doing shit. Mm-hmm. But
and I think that the main thing. So to go back, I don't want to go too far off on a tangent.
Mm-hmm. But we are though.
Yeah, that's what this shit is. It's just a big ass tangent.
It's tangents. That's what we're calling this, tangents.
Tangents, yeah. But this whole idea of hypergamy and courtship is like some 1930s house with no AC bullshit.
Just sweating
in
your little cotton
sweating
shirt.
Because it's summertime. You ain't got no answer for it. It's summertime in the South. We sweating because that's what we do on Mastersfield. We just don't live in a time period to where you do not have access to options. So I just don't get this idea of people saying, oh, they got to have this, that, this. And, man chase woman gets courted. Woman accepts ring from man, she stops working, even though she spent the first half of her life
working,
building herself, and if she's moving the way she want to move, she wasn't working just to be working. She was building a career, a respectable career. Why the fuck do you society, and then they try to retrofit. So that same woman is like, I'm not gonna throw away the first half of my life and everything I've done, but I want to feel like I can if I wanted to.
Man,
and it's like, well, what's this contingency plan you got going on here?
I literally come to think that most women, and this is just an opinion. This isn't a quote unquote blanketed statement, but it's just from my perspective, just encountering the different women that I've dated and been with, is that it literally is a fucking maze to figure out what the fuck they mean at that fucking particular time, because you're sitting there. Yep. We've had this discussion before. I've talked to a woman who would literally say to me, my father says I'm supposed to be with a man who makes this and that and this in case something happens with me and I can't work this and that. So I told her, I said, hey, your dad didn't marry none of your brothers and sisters' mothers. So, if we throwing that out there, that's just the first punch in the eye. Just right. All right, settle down,
like
pig.
A little jab. Hey, are we fighting?
Are we fighting? I'm like, settle down. But it's more so to say is that by doing that, or even thinking in that way, you're creating your own subjugation almost. Like, to me,
yeah.
Like, I'll be real with you, dude. If literally, say me, my girlfriend, we got married right now, and I'm legit the only breadwinner. And she started talking about money and I'm gonna do this with this, and I'm gonna do that with this. I'm gonna look at her kind of weird. I'm like, what you talking about?
Like, you can't
gotta run that past me.
Exactly. You can't make decisions like that.
Yeah, you have to run that past me.
You are a dependent. According to your government,
like you don't make any type of like. When the last time you used your Social Security card?
And I don't know of any sane-minded modern woman that wants to just
sit at home.
I
mean, some are.
No. Even the one. That's the crazy thing.
Unfortunately, some are.
When you hear women say, "Oh, I'm a traditionalist and I want to be a housewife,"
that's a funny word. That's a funny buzzword.
It's a weird ass word. Yeah, but I'm a traditionalist and I want to sit at home and I want to be a housewife. And then you say, "Okay, cool, right?" Because there's men out there that's like, "I want my wife at home." You're like, "Well, what does that look like?" Well, I want to have resources to where we can hire help at home.
So what are you doing?
Well, I mean, I don't want to struggle. And I was like, but what's the point of you being at home? You're a modern human being. The world it operates at a different pace. It used to be, it was a whole day's pursuit to wake up at sunrise, venture off into the city, work, venture back home, and it was getting dark when you were getting back home.
Yeah.
So when you were the breadwinner, you didn't have time to be anything else. Now we're at a 9 to 5 on our phone, running our business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The world's different now, and furthermore, the dollar ain't what it used to be. It used to be $30,000. You're a homeowner and you put your kids through college. Now you need at least $100,000 to put your kid through college.
It's just, to me, again, like I said before, broke. If you're broke, you need to like date broke people. Because
I disagree with that.
Well, okay, this is what I mean. Yeah, all right. It's one thing to be broke and be enterprising, meaning that you just don't have the resources, revenue, this and that to take yourself to the next level. And it's one thing to step to a woman or a man and they hear your enterprising ideas and go, yo, I'm willing, that sounds good. I'm willing to take my money and put it behind that. But if you're broke and you're not enterprising, and then your attitude when you get rich is that I'm rich now. Nah, you can't be rich with me.
Right.
You can't, because for some reason it's watching people buy $10 million houses they first 3 years being rich, and then having to sell their now $6 million house and lose $4 million in investments and stuff just to pay back a tax lien.
Yeah.
So it's to understand that.
So you're saying that you need equal equity or equal value coming into a situation in order to be an added part of that situation.
I wouldn't. To me, this is what I mean. To me, to 100% call someone my partner, the life partner, is that we realize that, okay, we're in this together. Mm-hmm. Like, we have to be elevating each other in some type of way. Whether I'm asking you to read a book a day, or I'm asking you to learn how to program,
okay,
or I'm asking you to learn pottery.
Yeah, then we're talking about something different. Then I guess your definition of broke is not just finances.
Yeah, it's a mentality too. Because broke people are always going like, unfortunately in American society, especially, and I don't want to sound political, mm-hmm, but from a leftist agenda, is welfare. It's a lot of people getting money. A high level of dependency, if you will.
But I also feel like sometimes broke is just pending the right opportunity, and sometimes for
a lot of people you can say that.
And sometimes,
but that's the enterprising part.
And sometimes the right opportunity is to meet someone and share living space, like share your life with someone who is an enterprising individual. They're just like you. You relate to them on so many levels, so many spiritual levels, so many social levels. Your humor is the same. You like the same foods. And then boom, this person just like me. And all they did was wake up at 4 a.m. every morning, go get an LLC, make these fundamental steps. Right. They look at money slightly different from me, and boom, your whole world opens up. So I think it's dangerous when you say, oh no, they got to be 100% equally yoked, because sometimes they're just pending you.
I mean, I hear that. I guess what I'm saying is that in a dating situation, meaning that I'm getting to know you, we're looking at what we can do for one another. Because I hate to tell you, dating, I don't think the only unconditional love that even exists in life is between parents and child.
Boom.
Like that's it. That is the only unconditional love that you will ever. And even that sometimes can come with conditions depending on that parent.
Comes with
the most natural unconditional love, the only natural unconditional love is between a mother, father, and a child, and their child.
And that has becoming a man. That's one of the tougher things, because my longest relationship was when I was a child up until I'm a young man for 11 years. So it was tough to understand that, yeah, that kind of love don't really exist in the real world. It's a very rare thing to have. Now, having that experience, gaining this new understanding, I've kind of had to fuse the two, right? And I'm understanding everything's going to have conditions, but what are my conditions?
Right.
And I refuse to let my conditions be materialistic, but I also refuse, to sell myself or my woman short. So if she may not say you need to make X amount of money, but I know I want to have a certain lifestyle, I know that she's going to look to me for leadership, I'm going to make X amount of dollars. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but if she comes to me and says, oh, I need money, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. Because you're doing it for the different, you don't want to have a shared life. You want a financier. You want a sponsor. And I'm not that.
Yeah. And in that same breath, I don't know if I've ever looked at myself as this quote unquote leader that everybody's telling me I'm supposed to be.
It is kind of gross when if you look at it like this, like me and Marcus always talk about it. The man is generally the head of security.
Right. I mean, that's not a leader.
Right. No, I'm saying, but
bodyguard.
He takes leadership of physically protecting his family.
Right.
The woman usually, she's the operations manager.
Yeah.
She takes liberty of a lot of the decisions that run the household. It doesn't mean that the man is a second child to her. It just means she controls operations. She's the head honcho for operations. And as soon as there's a bump in the night, guess what? Operations manager clocks out and the security manager clocks in. And there's no questions. If he say, get your shit, let's go, there's no questions because he's security manager. If she says, hey, we need to, I don't know, something along in the house. I've never.
But why is the operation manager looking for a CEO when they can be the CEO?
And I think that's the confused operations manager. I think or
at least a co-CEO.
The worst coworker or colleague is the person who oversteps their responsibilities
every time.
They never know, and then they always feel like every time there's a problem, they run into somebody and they trying to like, what we need to do is, you're like, motherfucker, you don't get paid for that shit. Like,
that is
I appreciate your enthusiasm.
They're not gonna hire you.
But go to the person whose responsibility that is and trust that they can do the job. And I think the same way in a relationship, in a healthy situation, is you trust that. You suck at math. Let your wife handle the bills. You know what I'm saying? And then let her handle the bills. And trust that you chose right. Now, don't be an idiot, And money just disappearing, Learn how to do math. But, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just Shaq's wife.
Everybody play your part. Like, play your fucking part. And I think that's the main thing in this modern world is we all feel like we're an island and everybody lucky to be on our island vacationing.
And you know what? I feel you on that. I have a different approach to it. I look at my life as a universe, and it's a universe that one can visit. But thing is, as a universe, I have the ability to quote unquote create avatar, some type of virtual representation, and visit another universe. And what we could do is just move our universes closer together.
I like that.
So and that's how I more so look at it, because to me, like as much as the future I want to have with my lady, that I still want her individuality to remain. Yeah, she still has to have that. She still has to be able to, like, she got to have friends. Like, I have friends. If I have friends, I cannot be your only friend.
Yep.
Like, that sucks. That's a lot of pressure.
That's a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure.
And eventually, as you guys grow older together, you will be each other's soul friend, best friend. That's what comes with the life partnership.
Right.
But she's got to have a universe. She got to have her own planetary system in order for you to come in and be like, okay, you got a nice a good amount of gravity. You got weather patterns. We good. This is a livable situation. But if she just a desert isolated planet out like Pluto, whatever the fuck, like way out there, ain't got nothing orbiting, no star, no nothing. It's like, man, it's cold here, it's boring here. We can't grow vegetables. Like, what the fuck? We can't build nothing here.
All right. New question. All right. So, since we're talking about infidelity, how many women have approached you to be a what's that shit called? What's it called now?
A third?
No. What's it called now? Sneaky link.
A sneaky link.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Now I don't know if sneaky link necessarily
side piece, pretty much.
Yeah, a side. I don't know if sneaky link necessarily equates to a side piece because it makes it seem like somebody that they're just not loud about fucking.
Yeah.
It doesn't. It's not necessarily they got the dude and then they. But
well, I would like to believe. I would like to believe people ain't that despicable where they like, hey, would you like to be my side piece? I think people still try to finesse a situation.
I'm saying so. I guess what I'm asking is, have you had like a quote unquote married or involved woman, and she just obviously like, yo, I'm game for whatever you want to do tonight.
And it's funny because like us men, we used to shooting our shot missing, and then we hit one time, we good.
Yeah.
Women are like, if I ever shoot my shot, I've thought about this so long.
Yeah.
And I know that you the one.
Yeah.
I know you're gonna say yes because nobody says no to me. And I'm about to risk everything. So I know you gotta be the one that's down to keep a secret. Blah, blah, blah. Like this is a big entitlement. So when I respond, I respect marriage. They look at me like, motherfucker, I ain't asked your religious beliefs. They be like, I ain't asked you your religious. Do you want it? And I'm like, nah, I respect unions. Like, don't play with me because I would
say I respect agreements.
I respect. I respect agreements.
I respect agreements.
And I believe in karma. Like, I believe in karma as if that motherfucker like fucking, God is like karma to me is the most realest thing. And it's one of them things where I'll believe it and I don't care who it's actual it's cause and effect and this you make decision that I don't care how I believe karma's a real motherfucker and I don't play with it. I don't play with it,
I believe in it, but again, I believe karma comes from like to me, like say in my relationship, cheating is not would not be the same definition in other people's normal relationships. So say like another chick I dated, cheating would be any type of flirting, talking, having any type of lustrous, if that's a word that I can use here, conversation. In the situation I'm in now, it's doing something without her knowing.
Yeah.
And that's the only difference. I can't, like, if I did something, she needs to know that something got done. It's only cheating if it's like, so what you been doing? And I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now that's cheating to her.
But yeah, like
or spending time with them like y'all together. That's cheating.
I think every black male has been approached by that middle-aged white couple that's on some weird shit. That's
remember Kerry Washington?
What happened with her?
No, remember we was up in Buckhead that time, and it was me, you, Marcus, and maybe Justin, and we was up in one of that, and this little short Kerry Washington looking chick approached me.
I don't know if I was there that day. I don't remember that.
No, because you called her Kerry Washington.
Oh, But anyway,
but yeah, so we were there, and she was telling me about her family. She was actually an author. She was telling me about her family. She just had a 1-year-old. She like, I'm just hanging out with my friends. That white girl. She like, I'm just, I'm doing whatever for the night, wherever the night leads me. And she's just like touching on me, this and that, blah, blah, blah. She said, you have a very beautiful smile. And I'm just like, nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Because she threw me off when she was like, because at first she thought I was married. So she thought, if you married, then you definitely.
We both got something to lose. Yeah,
But I'm like, you don't have nothing to lose? I'm like, nah, not at all.
She was even more. So I don't.
Yeah, and that messed me up because it was like,
damn.
Those are the times, and the sad part is those women make it hard for men like me to be like, oh, because you seem like a good, decent woman. Right. You seem like you know how to act like one.
You know how to act, and that's the scary part. Is like, you got to act down pat. Like I want, like your baby's not with you, so he's probably with the dad, your husband at the house. I was just like, man. And then that one time, I don't know if she was married, but I refuse to believe she wasn't. That Puerto Rican mama. Oh yeah, she gave married by. She gave like literally. He is gone for 5 days. Yeah, I need to get some.
Yeah, news. This woman. I'm not gonna lie, man. Part of me goes back to that in my mind, going, but the other part of it's like, you did right, son. You did good. Right. You did good. But But I remember that. I remember
that shit too. And I remember
because it caught everybody off guard.
My ex, we were both like, she was like, "Yeah, you already know what's going on." I'm like, I know. Let's head on to the car, and then you start like, "Hey, what up?" You was like walking, like, "Whoa, where are you?" Man, nah, I couldn't do it. And at the time, I was like, "Nigga, what? Why? It's a fucking slow ball right down the middle. Like, go for it." And you were just like, "Nah, I just don't sit right. Don't sit right."
It don't.
Now being out in the dating world and seeing that shit, I'm like, that shit, because it make you feel like, damn, it taints your whole perspective. You're like, oh, y'all like this, like, god damn.
What thing is it made me realize a lot of things about how men really view women, because it's like, all right, so like go online and just look up like say on Twitter or fucking Instagram, and just say look up super fine Instagram models or quote unquote ones that are a little bit sexual in nature, not necessarily nude and nothing like that, but just sexual.
Yeah,
just read the shit that these niggas be writing them, and you realize these niggas will worship a woman no matter what. And that's in the
comment section. So imagine what weird shit going on in the DM.
Exactly.
Like
you having niggas talking about, man, if she let me come, I'm going in raw and I ain't pulling out. I'm like, this is what you write online, my nigga?
Like goddamn.
I'm like, I mean, and you sitting there like, I feel you, but I ain't gonna tell nobody that out loud. Like, nah.
Yeah, people are wild.
Yeah, bro. So you got those dudes, and then I'm lucky enough to have a girl or have a woman who gets DMs and then shares those DMs with me.
That's the best situation, and it's got to be voluntary. It can't be hey, let me see what's going on. It got to be like, now look at this crazy shit, and y'all laugh together.
She was like, who the fuck is this guy? Because this dude just started texting her out of the blue. He was like, I got your number at this gas station, and I looked at her. I was like, you got his number at the gas station? I didn't get a number until after we fucked. I was like, man, what the fuck is going on here? So she was like, and she was sitting there scanning her brain. She was like, well, it's got to be he was selling weed. That's the only thing it can be. That's the only reason I'll get my number out. And then I was like, all right, we'll see. So we type in. She's like, how I know you, this and that. And she's like, do you sell bud? He said, yeah, I do. And I was like, all right, well.
All right, cool. So checking out.
All right, that checked off. I'm like, this is a random thing that happened. So I feel you on that. But that dude, that nigga, and once he found out it was me talking to him after a while, he was like, this nigga said, you know she for the streets, homie. Oh my Just let her go. I know you got some, like, he automatically assumed I had a team. So I let him think that, and I was like, well, she's happy to be on my team. And she likes his team. I'm taking the whole team down to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I said, I don't think you can afford this team taking pictures with your little drum shotgun. Right. Like, this nigga had a drum shotgun pointing out, like, so you propped up your phone and put the timer on the bitch and said,
I don't know why I picture
13,
like
14.
Yeah, he put a little timer, like, man,
put the timer
14 on too long. I can't hold my pose. My triceps getting tired.
Because 5 seconds not long enough for him to hold it up and keep it straight.
I don't know why I picture like a Lil Wayne poster and a Michael Jordan poster with thumbtacks on his wall. His grown ass nigga pointing a gun at him. Like, what the fuck?
That shit was hilarious.
I don't know, man. That shit sad, man. That shit real sad. But yeah, that's the best situation when your lady is so down for what you got going on, and the same for you to her, to where
it's been in my DMs. She's seen what women say to me.
Exactly. And we want to laugh about this, and we want to, you know what I'm saying, sometimes troll and that. I told you, like, me
that's some of my best fun.
Me and my ex, we used to go to the bar sometime. This is before, online dating became a thing, and then plus we were together so long, neither one of us needed to have an account. But we would go to the bar sometime. And intentionally, I go on one side, she go on another side of the bar, and she get hit on, I get hit on. They'll order her a drink, they'll order me a drink because they don't know, and it was fun, and it turned us on, it turned both of us on because like we still
got it,
and we would go home and fuck each other like it's the first time, like but I'm telling you, like, in a healthy situation, you got to do that because we're human, we're animals. And this monogamy shit is it's a social construct. It's something to help us build cities. This ain't no real, like, we go out in nature. I believe let the power go out too long. Everybody got 3 wives.
I came up with a theory that monogamy is a little dick thing.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be.
Because it's like, where you going, bitch?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna fuck your big dick brother. who
Shit,
treats me like shit. No, you stuck. You took a vow.
It's funny because niggas, we get emasculated off of dumb shit now.
For dumb shit.
Somebody car louder, faster, blah, blah, blah. Back in the day, it used to be an army of strange motherfuckers coming over. They gonna kill
Trampling
everybody, and all the weak niggas gonna be turned into slaves, and all they women gonna be turned into concubines. There's some emasculating shit.
Especially in Asia.
So somebody was like, we need numbers. We can't do this without numbers because we can't keep getting bitched by the next horde of whatever. So how can we maintain these big civilizations and Steve and Craig and them don't be running train on my wife when I go hunting?
Well, I mean, like I said, I believe marriage was like it's not what we want to think it is. It was created for control. Because in the end of the day, that man literally thought he owned that.
Yeah.
Like I remember speaking to my grandma, and
which is crazy.
And no offense against her husband, but he kind of struck me as it's one of them people that wants to be a big man, but he's just not. He wasn't quite a big man, and it's just off the stories that I would hear. Like one time, I think he hit my dad. He slapped my dad when my dad was an adult, and my dad, I guess, didn't move fast enough, and he slapped my dad. And my dad punched that nigga in the stomach, like just straight up punched him. And then I remember speaking with my grandma one time. He said he asked her to do something, and either she didn't respond in the right way or she didn't respond at all. And this nigga came over and slapped her, and she said she turned around, looked at him, and said, "Hey, that's gonna be your last time, because if you come back to slap me ever again, I will kill you. And trust me, you can disappear and nobody will ever fucking know."
That's that country shit.
And then they stay married. They still married to this day.
Hey, it's got to be like that. But I, you know what? To go back to the monogamy thing, monogamy is designed to build and maintain communities.
Yeah,
right?
Supposedly.
We're moving into a phase. People are making new money every day. That's how abundant our resources are right now. When the last time you heard of food famine or a drought somewhere? You rarely ever hear about that in the majority of the world. There's still those pockets, but in the majority of the world. So we're, as humans, in such a surplus, and we got society figured out. We got coexistence for the most part. We still got Putin invading, Ukraine and all that kind of shit. We got those flare-ups, but for the most part, we got this society shit figured out.
Right.
And now we have women finally getting closer to having equal equity in that process. Like true equal equity.
Right.
We kind of don't need the nuclear unit anymore. I know that's like some crazy shit to say. No. And now we seek it out for companionship. We seek it out because partnership is fun to have. But if we wanted to really talk about what do we actually need to move?
Right.
And the more equity women get, the more of these, and that's why I hate this whole antiquated ass, the man the provider and the leader and the woman that, because
women got OnlyFans now.
Exactly.
So,
let that same woman have equal equity and access, and she literally legit bring her home 6+ figures, and she's doubling whatever her male partner, she's gonna be making decisions that a man's supposed to make just because that's how shit works. That's how math. And so it's just like we gotta decide, okay, is this just a companionship thing? If it is, why can't I have multiple companions?
Yeah.
This companion likes to go skydiving. This one likes to go wine tasting.
You know what it is? It's the automatic belief that because you enjoy this about this person, that this person is going to take. It's a jealousy thing. It's a possessive thing. Yeah, it's a control thing. Like, dude, I've literally dealt with situations where I've made somebody's girlfriend laugh, and she laughed like a little deep laugh, and the nigga's like,
what? Like it wasn't that funny. You remember I used to drive Uber and Lyft, same situation, and sometimes I get on a rant. So she cracking up, this white girl, she cracking up, she dying laughing, tears coming out. Her boyfriend at first we were going back where everybody was talking. He got quiet, and then I didn't even process. I'm still going on my rant, driving. I get them to their destination, and right when I'm getting close to that, he started like kind of trolling me. Like he started trying to trying
to flip it on you.
Yeah, trying to flip it on me. And then it got to the point he was saying certain shit under his breath that I wasn't hearing. And his girl was like, "Hey, what the fuck?" So finally he got out, and I was like, "Hey, bruh, don't drink too much. Niggas is watching." And you look back like, what?
Yeah.
You know, like,
I'm like, just like that.
yeah.
They said, you are not going to tip me anyway, so keep it moving.
Exactly. And she looked. She was like, all right, bye. She smiled. I was like, yeah. If I was a dog ass nigga, I would get you. Like,
I'm like, hey, Sarah, get back in this car.
If I was a dog, that would be mine.
Lay on this lap with
I'll piss on your shit and leave.
with your unbleached asshole. Nah. Where do these women come from trying to give you some pussy when you're in a relationship?
I was just talking about this shit.
Like
this is what it is.
Like, what is it? A pheromone that we now
go back to what we were saying about monogamy. The natural mandate, natural order of things is the woman wants the most viable seed.
Right.
So the fact that your seed has been co-signed, the fact that you got a whole woman is like, yeah, that's some good seed. She's like, oh, boom, the research is done. That must be a catch. And she wants you more. For us, it's the other way around. We need you to be able to have the self-control and self-respect to go and protect your womb and nurse a child to, where it's self-sufficient. And we got to believe that you're going to make rational decisions. You're not going to let any guy in, because back in the day, again, that whore come over, they killing your baby.
Yep.
They smutting your wife out, and then they turn the bitch niggas into slaves.
Oh, yeah.
So,
nigga, pick up that cinder block.
Pick up that cinder block.
Put it back down. And pick it back up.
But that's what it is. The cosign. Women love a cosign.
Man, and it's like, man, you ever had a woman confess her entire feelings to you, and you just be like, I got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's literally, I would say, one of the funniest moments in my life that I did not outwardly laugh, but I am like in my head dying because I want to leave so I can get in my car and giggle my ass off.
Yeah.
Because it was literally I was buying some vinyls from this DJ. And the DJ had actually hit me up before telling me how she felt about me. But I never really looked at her page because, to me, I literally told her, if you want to talk to me in person.
Right.
I haven't did online dating since what was that what's that shit? OkCupid.
Lucky man.
Yeah,
shit done got weird.
Yeah, I literally, because it got to a point where talking to someone online just didn't do enough for me. Like, that's when I realized I can't be that dude to get with you off of one meeting and just, I feel the joy. I'm not jaded against relationships because too fast that I walk into one and go, wow, I feel like I can be with this person. You start thinking about kids for some dumb reason. And next thing you know, he's like, bitch, you fucking eat toilet paper? Like, you just like, man, I'm not, that's a bill. Yeah, toilet paper is $20 a fucking 12 pack, and you go through with six rolls a week. I can't live like this.
Yeah. Okay, I can't do this.
I can't do this
no more.
So
but I mean, I think with online dating, man, it's like
that shit.
It's a numbers thing, and that's where it gets real. It can become extremely toxic.
I've seen them, bro.
If you're not,
I've seen them. I can't do it.
If you're not like sound in what you're trying to do and what you want, like if you can't, you should not make a dating profile if you leave that category that says what you're looking for. If you say undecided or like open, you shouldn't be on a dating site. It's not, because undecided means if the right one comes, I want a relationship. If the good looking one comes, we can just have a fling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just open. Anything in life, you need a direction. You need to be like, I want to do this, and I want to do it around this amount of time frame. And you go in that direction.
But that's kind of sad. That's the dichotomy of, like, I guess how at least how it's being looked at. Because like I would say, as a man, men are infuriated with other men being around that girl, or at least sleeping with that girl for two reasons, in my opinion. One, if that girl made you wait 3 months.
Oh yeah.
And she met that nigga and he knocked it down the first week.
Which, man, I wish we had a girl on the panel for this shit.
I don't. And you sitting there like, so what did he say in 3 days that I didn't do?
And then they answer back and they'll say it with their chest. Well, I knew he wasn't gonna be shit, so I just went ahead and let him hit because I knew it wasn't gonna be no future there. Well, shit, I ain't shit neither. Come on, like what the fuck?
I'm like, look, you took 9 months to figure out someone else wasn't shit. So why all of a sudden?
It's not a compliment that you said I see potentially. I'm gonna make you work hard.
I should be the least hard working nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you doubt everything you do, and you gonna feel like you're not good enough, and you're chasing me, and you da da da. I'm gonna do all that, but this nigga, he can hit it. He can leave a couple of babies in me and go because I knew he wasn't gonna be shit.
You know what? It's like I think it's like the conundrum of like a good looking celebrity that beats women. Like it's still gonna be some women that go,
Dr. Motherfucking Dre. Yeah. Like he got a new woman right now, like a new,
like he never beat his.
He has a career of beating
women, and here he is with a new woman going. He ain't knocked me down yet.
I'm different. Like whatever. You might be different by 15 pounds, but he gonna go.
Only thing different is you took boxing lessons, so you be fucking ducking that nigga. Like that's all you got, right. Andre.
Right.
You get fat, Andre.
Bruh, like I don't get it.
They only sleep in the same bed.
He got a whole new house for her.
Like you can sleep in the wife's suite.
I don't need you over here. I got some new ones coming. They trying out for the position.
No,
you getting close to retirement.
No, but they smell it on you, man. They smell that. Man. They smell the happiness.
Oh yeah,
on you.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and the same man knows the right woman make you walk different. It make everything move different. You see shit different, everything. And that woman can see that. She can see like, oh, he's accounted for.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna bullshit you. Like my I guess the biggest problem I have is that, I've always been at some level. Like I remember dating one woman and she made me feel like I wasn't worthy. While the whole time is that, oh no, it was definitely you who was dealing with I really don't have nothing. And instead of just being honest with myself on how I don't have anything, I'm gonna make it seem like, oh, you don't have nothing. I want to be with a man who has something just like me, even though I technically don't have nothing.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's one thing I always hated. I'm like and that's when I realized. I said, you know what? Most of y'all that step to me, and and it made me think about the type of woman that I date. Yeah. Is that I'm dating women. It seems like and it seems like something always progresses pretty fast. Mm-hmm. For the most of it. And next thing you know, I don't really find out what you really do or how much you make until like month 2, and I realize I'm the only one paying.
You're paying the majority.
I'm paying the majority of doing this and that. And in some situations, like a situation I am now, I'm cool with kind of being bearing the brunt because I get what's going on. A conversation was had. So I get that, okay, I got to stand a little tall right now and I got to work a little harder. I get that. But, I also made it known. I'm like, hey, if I'm going to be the support system or I'm going to be this particular system, then, concessions need to be made.
I need to be compensated as so. Yeah, man.
I'm like, if you don't have to worry about nothing, I don't have to worry about nothing.
Exactly. Reciprocity, like it gotta be a 2-way street. And then, like I said, in this modern world, you're not stuck at home being a midwife or being a wife or being a housewife or whatever. You got a world, and I want to see the world. I want to go and vacation in your world sometime. You can come vacation in my world. Like it need to be a 2-way street. It don't need to be me bearing the whole load of us building something. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like that shit. I need to. I'm not in the guessing game. I'm not in the convincing game. If you showing me signs of doubt, like you need a cosign for you to be all the way on. Right. I played those games with women before where I've made it seem like there's another woman on the line just so she can have a sense of urgency.
Right.
And I've done. I played the whole. I've been dating for way too long. I've been dating for what, 6 years? About to be 6 years now.
Yeah. You broke up in early 2016.
Yeah, I was like 28 or something.
Yeah, it was right before because Marcus' wedding is when we all found out.
Really?
Yeah, because you didn't.
Damn, really?
Well, it was hinted. No, you switched your thing on Facebook.
Yeah, which I regret doing that shit.
And that's I remember hitting you that day. I'm like, word, man. Like, what the fuck? What just happened? I regret doing that. He's like, man, that
was literally the single most corniest shit I've ever done in my life.
But it was just crazy because, I remember the time that, you had these conversations, but they never went. They never, like, amounted to that. And now it did.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. It was like, wow.
And I think, and even then, nobody around me believed that shit. Everybody was like, "Oh, they just fighting." Like,
nah, I believe you.
Oh, okay. Well,
I believe you for the simple fact that for those, like, I would say, especially those last 2-3 years, you were saying stuff. You was like, I'm like, you're the only relationship I've ever had. I don't even know what I want, and because you're the only thing I have, so I really don't. I only have you to look at.
I think that was always there, and that's always there in young relationships.
Yeah,
but it went further. Like, I could deal with that, right? I could deal with window shopping. You know what I'm saying? We would go out, I get drunk, and right or wrong, I'd get my flirts off and I have fun. But then y'all never see me take nobody home. Like, right. It didn't work like that. I'm not that kind of guy.
Right.
So I was okay with that. But what I wasn't okay with is I've made this sacrifice. I've made this concession. I don't see the same thing happening over there.
Right.
You wanting all of this, but you're just giving the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm good. I'm too young for this shit.
And you know who said it best? Patrice O'Neal. He was like, how do you want to be the quote unquote queen of my situation when I hired you? You was working as the mailroom girl, and then I saw the potential in you, and then I started elevating you more and more and more and more. But as you got elevated, you wanted more, and you wanted to do less to get more. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, I always have to do more. While you can start to taper off. I don't have to do this much. Because he cares about. I'm like,
and then all this is happening before the ring, before marriage. So now we automatically know shit taper off when you get married. You get comfortable. If we're already in a deficit, why the fuck am I gonna put a ring on that shit? Yeah. Like, I'm not trying to spend my life doing that shit.
That's how I look at it. If I pay your cell phone bill, and while I pay your cell phone bill, you were always cleaning. Like, when you like, say you only saw me once a month, and I pay your cell phone bill, and you come to my house, and anytime you come to my house, you clean up. So if I go 2 or 3 months of paying your cell phone bill, and when you come to my house, you never clean up, I'm gonna ask you, why do you not have to clean up, but I still have to pay the cell phone bill?
Right. Okay. It's time for you to start picking up more financial responsibility.
I'm like,
you must be busy making money if you're not taking care of the house. Like, what are you doing?
Like, you're not. I'm like, you saving money with the food I buy.
Exactly. So, like, what are you doing?
What's going on?
And what you expect me to do? You want shit to get harder for me, easier for you, and we live happily ever after? No.
I blame black cinema for that. I blame Jewish writers. Who else I can blame?
It gotta be something going on.
I blame Irish playwrights.
All jokes aside, there's gotta be. I hate to be conspiratorial, but there's gotta be something going on in our society, in our pop culture, our media, our food. Something is happening to make people believe it's okay to finesse your way into something. Finesse your way. Finesse something.
Scamming's been around forever.
Yeah, but in the household, like in relationships, though, it's like everything is just. Yeah, you're right. It has
even in relationships, scamming.
It's different now. It's almost like people don't even expect shit to work, and even when it does work, so there's this thing I've been thinking, like, there's a shallow how effect happening with a lot of women in dating, and some of us men, but
it's always been a shallow how or a law.
But because there's so many, the numbers are so crazy. And people ain't really dealing with their trauma from their last situation. Right. So they take in all those triggers like we talked about earlier, and they don't work. Like, the dating process is just that. It's supposed to be an intentional process of you learning what you want, learning what you don't want, and learning how to identify those things in a person effectively. Not, I don't do, like, not making these blanketed judgments of, I don't date Scorpios no more.
Yeah.
Man. Like, I don't. Yeah,
I'm sitting there like, who's literally dismissing an entire 3 to 4 weeks of birth?
I don't date New York bitches no more. Like, what? Like, okay, are you playing like you playing games with time, and you're gonna lose every time, dude? And it's just like, for me, I spent these last 6 years understanding what I want, what I don't want, and how to identify that shit. And so now my scope is smaller, and I don't entertain a lot of bullshit. Body count low, unfortunately. But
yeah, it's low.
But fuck you. but I'm proud to say, like, yo, I know how to identify what the fuck I want. And I know there's a lot of these women, they don't, and it'd be little, because they don't really have a direction, it'd be the littlest shit. You can be like, everything's perfect, and she's flipping out because all her triggers are going off, all her red flags, bing, 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 bing. It can't be perfect. I've never seen perfect. And then you sneeze. Why he
sneeze like that?
Who sneezes like that?
Does he have a 6 toe?
Does he have a 6 toe? I ain't never heard nobody sneeze.
Remember when I told you about the time I got in an argument over dried cilantro?
No, I can believe that shit.
So I mean, you introduced me to her. This was the on and off situation where it could just anytime it was going good, they had to sabotage it. And
I think I know.
Yeah. So I remember, this day pissed me off with her. She was like, "Can you go to Kroger and get me some cilantro?" Now she probably did say dried cilantro. Mm-hmm. So I go to Kroger and I get cilantro, but I go into the garden section, the live cilantro with the mist on it and shit. And I come back to the house like she's literally 2 minutes away from fucking Kroger. And I come in the house, hand her the cilantro, and I started walking in there. And she's like, "What the fuck is this?" And I'm just like, "Huh? What's wrong?" She said, "I asked for dried cilantro. This is live cilantro. You don't be listening." And I'm just sitting there like, I can go back to the store right there. It's right there. This is something that can be fixed within the next in less than 10 minutes. I can have you dried cilantro. And she's like, "That's not the point." I'm like, "I thought it was," because that's what you're mad about.
You a better man than me. I would be like, "Well, if you can't make it work, then we ain't eating."
Well,
like, because I'm not going just by the way your tone was. Fuck you and that cilantro. Well, in
the end of that relationship, it was literally realizing how much someone values me. And by valuing me, they see they don't see the value in themselves.
Yeah, again, that's that shallow house, self-destructive type mentality where it's things are going too well. I'm getting into the danger zone. I've never been this stable for this long. I need to I got to get out of here. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna contradict myself right now.
Try.
She was a Sag, right?
Who?
The one we talking about.
Yeah.
I briefly talked to a Sag. Same energy, same exact vibe, where things are going too smooth. The vibe is just growing. And then I'm starting to see her nitpick. And it's like, and her nitpicks ain't normal reaction to a nitpick like, "Oh man, all right, whatever," And it's like, "Next time, do this, that, and the other." No, it was, "I can't believe you did that." No, not pick up the phone for 3 days.
Yeah.
Call, finally get on the phone. I'm just starting to see too many red flags. What red flag? I shouldn't even have. And then they would say this. I shouldn't even have to explain.
That
my
is
red
the
flag.
worst.
Like,
I cannot stand that.
I cannot read your mind. Like, what do you like? Do you want this to work or you don't want this shit to work?
I'm like, so you're a person who wants communication, right? And what aren't you not doing right now? You're not communicating how you feel. You want to know why? Because on some mythical creature, dragon, fucking knight in shining armor and shit, I'm supposed to read your emotions from fucking miles and miles away.
And they get so offended that you cannot read the right one wouldn't know how to read my. He can.
How you know that? How you know that? Because you ain't found them.
You ain't found them.
Who's to say you right?
I would love to have a conversation with her now, the one you're talking about, because she's grown a lot. Like, right from what I hear. I'm curious to know if she's self-aware of like that part of her, where just like her expectations are on some unicorn shit.
I'll make fun of her. I hope Mr. Right tells you that you wrong. Like, I hope that nigga go, "Well, you ain't right for me."
And the funny thing is, people like that, they usually need a super dominating figure, the type of person that makes decisions for them, and they're gonna fight, and they need that guy it's gonna take a stroke of luck. And then once that dude gets through that initial wall, he got to be like Suge Knight. He got to be like fucking what's it called off of Friday? Like, what money? Like,
Debo.
Like,
he got $200. I got $200.
You got to take the keys out of her hand, commandeer her life, and she works for him now. Yeah. Those type of people, they need that. They need somebody to overcompensate for their own doubt in themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. They just doubt their own decisions. Man. You know, they made a few bad decisions, and now they don't know what a good decision is. You know.
Yeah, but the thing is, the funny part is that they'll tell you about them bad decisions, and you're like, "Well, I don't sound nothing like that."
Super aware, super self-aware.
I don't sound nothing like that.
Like, "Oh, thank God I'm not like that."
I remember dating one girl. We broke up abruptly, like just like all of a sudden, and I I remember turning around to grab something after the argument, and she literally thought I was about to hit her.
And you're like, whoa.
I said, what are you ducking for? I'm not about to hit you. I don't hit nobody. Like, you ain't coming at me. I will never put my hands on you. You came at me with a knife or some stuff.
Like, I defend myself.
I'm gonna put you down.
Yeah.
You gonna lay on the ground. You gonna be crying.
Yeah, even then I'm not about to beat your ass. I'm gonna disarm you.
I'm gonna put you down. Like, I don't have to beat you to death. I just have to do one little nice little nigga, and you gonna think about what you tried to do. You gonna be like, you know what? I was tripping. Because you was tripping. You tripped over my feet and you hit the ground. And you gonna lay there for a while.
And you woke up when you hit the ground. So, but yeah, like I've dealt like the last crazy chick I dealt with where I could see her poking the bear. She was like literally, I could see her actively searching for my triggers, like just searching. She would say little things, fishing, and sometimes she would hit a trigger, but because I know what she's doing, I was like, wouldn't even react or anything. One time I reacted to a trigger just to see. I wasn't really hurt, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna let her have that one. And I'm like, man, I changed my whole demeanor like I was hurt. She was in like a motherfucking fighter jet. She was pinpoint on that trigger. Every time she got slightly mad, I'm like, oh, word. So that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And I pointed out, I was like, why do you do this? Why are you doing this right now? What do you want? What do you ultimately want? And it ended with her putting her hands on me, like slapping me. And so I know, thank God, I'm so proud of myself. Sometimes I'm like, nigga.
Are you?
I am. I'm very proud of myself. Slap me in this public space in the middle of a club. I leave. I'm about to leave her at the club, but then I end up got in the car. She called. I got the radio on because I'm trying my best to silence the voices in my head about going upside her head. Bitch. Man, so I got the music going. She reached to turn down my music. I grabbed her hand and ran into her hand like 3 times. I was like, don't you touch shit, like a little kid. Don't you touch shit. And she was like, and in that moment, I think she realized, oh, there is a cliff. There is, he does have teeth. Yeah. And it's just like,
I'm like, don't think for a second. Don't get me wrong. And this is what
and she wanted, and that changed her whole demeanor, as if finally I got to see your teeth. Yeah. I feel like cool. No, you made me bare my teeth. You supposed to be my ally. I don't want nothing to do with you.
How I beat it to him is that I just show him a picture of my teeth. I'm like, hey, I got these. I got these motherfuckers. Don't play with me.
That's something in hindsight I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to learn that because I pride myself on being a controlled individual. You can never really say like, I mean, y'all, my brothers, y'all can get me out my character because y'all know me.
Yeah.
But like nobody else can get me out nobody. I'm solid. If you get me out my character, I ain't gonna. That ain't it because I can control that motherfucker. I'm gonna tell you now, I cannot control that. It's like the Hulk mixed with the Wolverine, short, but the motherfucker 30 across the room. Like,
well, the beauty behind me is that I've never a woman has never been able, like, she already knows her words are not enough to get me going,
right?
And most of them are too chicken to go past words. Lucky enough, or at least the ones I've dealt with, they'll try to do something, or they'll try to do something sexual to you in order you to get you to do something. You're like, no, I'm trying to watch TV. Keep it. Put your booty out my face. I'm trying to watch TV.
Yeah, I hate that shit.
I'll holler at you about 25 minutes.
Starting a fight, getting you pissed the fuck off. Then they storm and go to bed, and then they want you get in there and they want to scoop they naked ass on you. You're like, nah, like, this ain't no. You think this is a game? Like, you think this is cute and fun? This ain't
I'm still gonna be mad.
I'm mad. You gonna have to fix this shit.
I'm gonna hit this pussy. Don't get me wrong.
I'm not. I'm at the point now. I don't even want this shit, and I'm not. I don't want this shit so much. I'm gonna make you believe that I'm going to work and hitting the mailroom girl. I'm not. But
that nigga be stupid. He be like, "What you laughing at?" Oh no, some of my coworkers wrote me.
I get toxic if I need to. Nah, that's something I gotta not do. But
I mean, I'll never do that because that's whack.
It's whack. It's whack as fuck. That's some Kanye shit.
That's some.
Yeah, real talk. That's some Kanye shit.
Yeah.
Hey, Speaking of that, did you watch that documentary?
Yeah.
It's a good documentary. Kanye is exactly who you thought he was.
Yeah.
That's a fire documentary though.
It's fire, but cringy. Because
he is the epitome of bitch dependency.
Oh my god.
So what I found the most enlightening about that whole documentary is the first half of the documentary, where he was on the come up.
Yeah, where he was trying, where he was fighting for it.
He was fighting for it because you get to see his character. This is the core of who he is as a human being before anything, before any influence, before people are just yes men in him and da. And he was socially awkward beyond any. He's on the spectrum. He's got to be on the spectrum.
He's definitely a little autistic.
He's the type of person you get in a conversation in a room with, you want to figure out how to get out of that room because he's kind of odd. Like, he's awkward.
Yeah, he draws you in and you be like, oh no.
Yeah, you're like, this nigga is crazy. And then, and I feel for him because he is brilliant.
Yeah, the dude's brilliant.
We got to admit that. Like, as a culture, we need to, I'm not going to say, because he ain't been coddled, but because his mom was a real one too.
Yeah.
We can't ignore his antics. I think we do need to hold him accountable. But I also know that Van Gogh chopped off his. Was that the one that chopped off his ear?
Van Gogh.
Or was that Michael? Which one?
Van Gogh was a painter.
Yeah, one of the painters famously chopped off his ear because a woman did something or another. He was crazy as fuck.
Let's see, artists. Let me just look that up. Yeah. Artists who chopped off ear.
But some of the
that's different.
Yeah, it might be just artists because it might be a musician, something like that.
Let's see. It is. Yeah, it was Van Gogh.
Van Gogh, right?
So he cut off his left ear when tempers flared with Paul.
Somebody or another.
Yeah, Paul nigga, the artist who had been working with for a while. See, he had like a bipolar episode.
So and then we thinking Kanye got some bipolar schizophrenia going on.
I mean, he does.
And so my thing is, when you reach a certain, look at Elon Musk, another one that's on the motherfucking spectrum.
Yeah.
What advances a species, and especially humans, is a mutation. And if that mutation finds a valuable purpose, it is repeated. This motherfucker weird. Mm-hmm. But his weirdness has made him a producing musical genius. We need to isolate that and fully understand that shit. Not excuse him every time he does something stupid. Let's keep holding him accountable because he coexists in a society, so we got to hold him accountable. But we shouldn't just like banish him. And us black folks, we're so hypercritical. It's partially of what makes us so fire and so dope, and it's partially what makes us so small on a global scale.
Yeah.
We're ultra critical.
Yeah.
And we will throw a nigga away fast. But super fast.
I think that's more so when it comes to the culture that's been cultivated as of now, especially with just council culture itself. Because literally, like Amy Schumer, that fluffy bitch, like she literally, and I'm gonna sum this up the best way I can. She got on some whatever platform that wrote an article with her words in it, saying that she doesn't believe Louis C.K. deserves to have a audience anymore. He needs to stay gone. And he was beating his dick, and I was just like, so none of. I'm like, don't get me wrong. This is not me defending Louis C.K.
No, I know you're not. Yeah,
because to me, if I heard about my daughter being forced to stay in a room and this nigga just
you gonna want something done.
Yeah, I'm gonna want something done.
Or it's gonna be a time to kill in this bitch.
But the thing is, I do not sit there and forget that this man also still has a life to live. Exactly. Because here's the thing: if you counsel him from being a comedian, he's not gonna be a teacher. You basically saying you deserve to not experience a good life anymore. And I be real with you, people who move that way are deadly.
They're super deadly.
I don't like. To me, people like that. To me, if we were put in a situation where a civil war, I would kill people like that.
Yeah, because you're
against whatever democracy is. You're against that. You're against people just living their own life.
Those are the type of sociopathic narcissists that will get a gang of people together and go witch hunting.
Witch hunting.
You know what I'm saying? And just banish people off an idea, I don't like that. But I do like holding people accountable, especially if you're coexisting with me. I got to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
But there's a due process. I'm going to be like, all right, cool. This is not kosher. Yeah. This is not kosher to the level of you ain't allowed around playgrounds, nigga.
Yeah.
And chemical castration may be of order. But I'm not going to murder you.
Yeah.
Because, you probably do have a child.
Or he has two children.
You know what I'm saying? Like
two little girls that could one day be comedians. And now
we gotta ask ourselves, wait, what he did, everybody take note. It should be well documented. He should be held accountable. And people should flame his ass every time they see him.
And they did. Like, if some of the comedians have talked about him.
You can't crucify somebody who invites him to the writer's room.
Yeah.
He's a mastery level writer, like comedic writer. Like, it's him writing. Now, if he gets into the writer's room, he's like, rape culture funny, ha 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 ha. Okay,
yeah, that's one thing.
Let's call him to the congregation. Yeah. We're not doing that, Playboy. And then you keep moving, but you can't. You got to work.
You can't banish him. You can't banish him to the nether realm.
It's a growth process, and people just, I don't know. That shallow house syndrome of it's got to be perfect, and I'm searching for the little flaws so it can validate all the flaws that I see.
The thing is, everybody's flawed,
and that's why people are doing. That's why people are hypercritical, because they're like, you ain't better than I
told that to this one dude. I was like, you know what? You always posting stuff about how stupid this person is and how dumb Republicans and that. I said, I promise you, something about your life. If someone put that out, you will be destroyed. You'll be fucked up. And now it may not be necessarily such a super negative thing as far as like something gross like rape culture or pedophilia or something like that, but it could be something else where you stealing from, I don't know, homeless people, that you have a charity, or you just physically abusing elderly people when you go to visit your grandma. Something about you just ain't right. And I told her, I said the problem with you is that you're speaking right now. But one thing we've learned about people that do what you're doing is speaking out. We can go back to the Red Scare doing McCarthyism. Mm-hmm. Those people were wrong. But at that moment, time in life, you could not tell them. They were ordained by God and wisdom. They are going to see us to the light to end communism. And guess what the fuck they were doing?
Yeah. So
creating communism.
That shit scares me, man. And that's why, like, when it's like, when the height of cancel culture, in the Me Too movement, don't get me wrong, the Me Too movement was one of the most necessary things in our lifetime to ever happen on a societal level. It was so, because we did exist in a rape culture. We did like, it was just like, oh, well, boys will be boys, and the casting couch is just a normal part of the process. We needed all that gone.
Yeah,
but in the midst of that, people went fucking, they got bloodthirsty. And they were okay with convicting people in the court of law, and that's fucking terrifying.
My thing is convicting people based off, and I don't mean to sound like this, but to me, it's literally what the justice system is, what it stands for. For me to come after you means I need to provide proof. Now we have already proven that eyewitness testimony. It's not really liable in court. It cannot be the reason why you get convicted, because they can easily say, I saw a man with a beard in a gray hat. Bro. I swear to God I saw him, but on the camera the nigga had a red hat.
When I got held up at a job one time years ago, and the police came 3 days later, right? They never came the day of. They took an officer did come the day of. He took a report, he left, and then I guess 2 detectives came 3 days later. And they're asking me to describe his physical features. And the more I spoke, the more I'm describing myself. Right. And I'm like, and they're looking at me like, really, huh? And I'm like, oh, shit, never mind. I don't even remember.
Yeah, that's terrible.
And my memory was like, damn, what
that motherfucker look like?
Like, he had to have something different.
Like, lucky enough, like, I remember the one time I got held up, the only reason I remember his features is because it's only a few I can remember. He had a ski mask on, so I don't know what his hair looked like, but I remember what his lips looked like. He had big lips. He had like he had some big ass lips, and he was built like a car mechanic, like one of them middle aged car mechanics. Yeah. That's what he does. But he probably lost a job that day. He's like, I'm robbing somebody, and probably dating a white girl from the hood.
Big white girl,
just big white girl, yeah. And you know what?
Who does taxes?
But you know what's funny enough? In that shop that day was a white woman, and it's a black barbershop with her black son, who, let me say this, hair was already cut. There was really no reason for him to be in there.
Was the son getting a haircut?
No,
they was hanging out.
They was sitting there pretending like they were going to be getting a haircut,
but they didn't pick a barber. They didn't.
Nothing happened. So like when I walked in, like when I got there is when the dude robbed. So the white people had got there a few minutes before, right? And I got there, got out the car. It's dark, and I'm walking towards the door. And next thing I see is some dude just come out of the corner, like fucking Batman, like motherfucking Batman. And this nigga just goes, and my stupid ass. I'm just young and inexperienced, and I just look at the dude.
And he coming to the back of you, right?
Yeah. Well, I say say the car's right there. This is the door. And say this is the door right here, and the car's right here, and he's over there. We're both walking towards the door at the same time, and it's November, but it's like not chilly November yet. And the first thing I said to his crazy ass, I'm like, "Why you got that ski mask on? It's that cold outside."
You're a bit much, right?
It's not that cold outside. And then as I'm looking at him, and it's like he's looking at me like, for real? Like for real? That's what you thinking of? And then I looked down and see that this nigga had a pistol, and I was like, oh,
this is not a drill.
And you know what made me mad is that my barber tried to lock the door in front of my face, and I was like, no, the fuck you ain't. No, the fuck you ain't. No, he ain't taking all the money I got on me.
I'm gonna be in the next episode. I'm not dying today,
no, he ain't about to hostage me. Let me in. I'm gonna shoot this nigga in the ass. I'm like, let me in.
Yo, that's funny as fuck.
I ain't never coming back here. I'm gonna get on Facebook and tell all y'all ain't no real niggas. Black.
Oh my god, that shit funny.
But shit, man. Let's wrap this gobble up, B.
All right, man. That was a good tangent.
Hell yeah, good tangents. Peace.